the idea behind this charity was we find somebody that was very positive and giving something back to the community and put him on a label. And then people, if they identify with this person, they're going to buy a beer. We are making zero profit on a beer, and all of the profits on top of production cost, everything goes
Mm-hmm.
to oncology department of our local hospital. And the idea
Cool.
was so well received that we got exposure in all of the local, or not local, but Croatian media. So I don't think there was a portal or news agency that didn't cover this story, especially since we landed a kind of a biggest news anchor person. Uh, Next year, we took a local band that was there through our kind of us growing up, and they were very vocal against drugs and drug abuse and so on. So we put them. So every year we wanted to put somebody. We did a silent action last year because of COVID, and we didn't want to kind of get people into more exposure to danger than it was necessary. And then this year I was
Totally.
like, okay, since I'm in HEX and I do understand what's going on, it's a great opportunity for young people in Croatia, maybe looking to get a loan for an apartment or looking how to start a life, maybe look into HEX. Like, don't deposit, don't do a bank deposit and hope for the loan. Deposit in HEX. And I was like, okay, maybe we can get Richard to be on our label. I know it's an ambitious project. I know that he mentioned that he has 18,000 unread messages, and I can only imagine how his Twitter and Telegram looks. I think his phone is melting all the time. So yeah, I'm trying to just get a straight answer from him. Yes, I like the idea. No, I don't like the idea. I don't like being associated with beer, or I don't like whatever. So if he says no, I say thanks. I'm taking a vacation for a bit just to kind of spend some time with family. If he says
Mm.
yes, then we have plenty of things to do to make sure that this beer gets to Hexicans. And at the end, Hex or Pulse gets paid to the hospital. And I think the good catch is there hasn't been any, as far as I'm aware, there hasn't been any donations in crypto to any hospital. So if we manage to do this,
Mm.
there's going to be a Hex or Pulse donation to hospital. So it's again going to be a major thing in the local media. So doing my part, don't expect profit from work of others.
No, it's true, right? And Richard says that a lot, referring to himself, but he's always mentioned that, I mean, you can always expect things to be successful when you're spending your time and doing it yourself, right? Yeah, when you mentioned that you guys kind of get back to the charities and things like that, I think that that's really awesome. And it's not like Richard would even have to do anything, right? He would, like you mentioned, kind of just give the thumbs up on the green light, and you guys would kind of be doing the rest. But I think it's so cool that Hex isn't just about like money and cryptocurrency and stuff like that, or being the best. It really is more. It really is more. And like your friend that you said, I'm happy to hear that he's doing better from his car accident. But when you mentioned that he had like kind of like insisted, many times that you get in, I think it's really cool because a lot of Hexicans are, like I said, not really greedy people, but we want to help, right? And so you can only help so much if you have abundance. And so Hex is definitely allowing a lot of people to show that.
Yeah, I mean, so this is our beer that we are trying to get Richard to accept. It's this charity beer. If he says yes, the Wizard of Pulse and Hex goes uh, worldwide. And if not, I'll enjoy drinking my Barba beer. This is and look at the logo of our brewery. Like, look at this perfect hexagon. If we tilt the bottle like this, it very much resembles of something that we are very familiar with.
That's awesome. I think that that's really cool. And yeah, like you mentioned, kind of waiting for Richard's green light
Yeah,
to kind of go on with it. Maybe I can ask him in some of the chats
I
as
will.
well
I would
and
love. I would
expedite.
love if anyone watching this could help. And we touched on this before. I can understand people people. I've had this conversation before. People not being very keen to be on a bottle of beer because there's always kind of connection with alcoholism and problems it develops, and it's a very serious and miserable state that somebody can get himself into. But I can always argue, and if Richard is watching this or gets this info, uh, we are to beer and alcoholics same what hex is to crypto community and gambling. So if you can say that we are creating alcoholics, I would argue completely opposite. What we are doing with beer is we are creating actually something brilliant, something special. We are taking care of each bottle, taking care to use best ingredients possible, and create a limited edition artisan beer that you really can enjoy. And it's more of a thing that we are concerned about pairing this bottle of beer with different styles of food than to kind of selling 10 gallons of beer and glugging down. Same thing goes with, in my opinion at least, to crypto environment. So you can not be a gambler, get into Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever, and start longing, shorting, and actually gambling. And I sat down with one of my friends, and actually he started losing serious money on playing with gas fees and whatever he was doing. I don't know. So and then Hex comes along, and it's completely opposite, and it's a safe haven. You put your money in, you stake it, you lock it, and you don't touch it. And there's no gambling there. Of course, there's risk with anything in life, but I would put a parallel. So same thing we are to beer industry, Hex is to crypto. So I think there's a lot of parallels in what we are doing here and what we are trying to achieve, and what Richard and community is doing on this side.
I mean, I definitely agree. And, shout out to Charlie, Cultivate Crypto. Him and one of the other Hexicans, Dollar Cost Crypto, they do a quarterly course for people that are just getting into crypto, right? That want to learn more, but don't want to have all of the mistakes that happen. But anyways, he mentions, kind of to your point of, people do need to be responsible for themselves, and it's okay to enjoy life how you like. And you're definitely right. It's not like you're promoting anything bad, right? You're taking something that's a thing that you're already doing, brewing, and something that you're passionate about. And the thing that I'm really happy about that what you're doing is cool to see is the donation to the hospital, right? That's so cool. Like Richard, all of the Hexicans and people that donated for Pulse raised 28 something like that million to Send's charity.
Million,
and for someone like yourself to give back as well, I think that's really selfless, and it goes to show you the character of the Hexicans and people like yourself.
Yeah, people sending messages like, "Oh, I've been to your web shop and I couldn't find this Richard beer. Where can I buy this Richard beer? Why is it not on?" It's not on because Richard still hasn't said yes. So we are waiting for yes or no. If he says yes, you can expect beer in our shop probably slightly before Pulse Chain comes out.
Cool. Well, yeah, I have your Twitter up here as well, and I'll remove my my little logo so people can see your guys' channel. And yeah, at the end of the day, there's supply and demand, right? Just like with Hex and everything else. And, there's definitely a demand for this beer. And so we just need to get it in front of the right people, the final decision maker, right? The gatekeeper.
The gatekeeper of Barba Wizard beer or Hex beer or whatever we will call it. So Richard, Don't be a gatekeeper.
Damn straight.